How you guys doing? Welcome to On the Stack, presented to you by GETV and Gamer's Edge. Alright, I'm Victor. This is my boy Tony.
What's up?
And today, we're going to talk about what happened over in Dublin with the Pro Tour.
I'm not making the pun.
I don't know what pun is, so...
I'm not making it.
I don't care. But with the top 8, it was actually quite interesting. We actually had one of our friends...
Making waves.
You're such a fucking asshole. So, ignore him. We actually had one of our buddies, Jay Van Lunen. He actually went up to the Pro Tour in Dublin.
Yep.
He did fairly well. He was fighting for top 8. Not too lucky.
Definitely top 16.
Definitely
Possibly top 8.
Possibly, easily top 8, probably.
Well, the person who beat him came in 9th,
nine.
so it's possible.
So, yeah. And he had higher tiebreakers, so he definitely was going to probably top 8 if he won. Most likely.
I think so.
At the end,
Whatever.
He did really good, and props to JBL, one of our boys. He did really good. He got 29. And top 8 was actually kind of interesting with what was all the decks that were up there. I mean, there was like Devotion, and then Devotion, and then Devotion. Did I say Devotion?
Do you remember the Devotion deck?
Devotion. Esper, Orzhov Control, and then Devotion.
So I guess at some point it was decided that Master of Waves, someone had to just be playing blue-white control and just decided, what's white for? Like the tension sphere? Fuck that. We're just gonna play. We're gonna play Vaporkin.
You have like
really?
Vaporkin.
So I mean, you can check the deck list. I'm not going to go through 17 mono blues. I mean, the mono red one I made touch on. The mono black one is pretty decent. But the the decks right now, like the mono blue list, is kind of janky, and it just won the Pro Tour. Sorry, just won the Pro Tour, and I don't think I said. I mean, said it before. Todd Anderson won a Star City Open with blue-white miracles at the beginning of a format, and then you wouldn't be caught dead playing that deck about a month later. So
You really think that's what's going to happen?
I think that mono blue devotion took advantage of the fact that there weren't as many decks running spot removal. Or I mean, apparently the players who played at the Team France was the one who top 3. Was it top 3? I know the top 2 was 2 Frenchmen.
And they
from
were
Team
both
France.
playing, and they
both played mono blue devotion, like 74 card identical decks, and yeah. I mean, the mono blue devotion deck, it's kind of mindless, and it's great because unmolested, you'll win on turn 5. Like just
basically, I mean, you're playing Vaporkin, which I don't know.
Well, the 2-drop slot is very volatile.
But you're playing So
no matter what, it's always Frostborn Weird.
Frostborn Weird. Really good card. I mean, it's played in blue-white. It's played in USA. Pretty good. Definitely playing that Master Waves. That's the guy. You know, he's the champion. He comes down, makes a bunch of little babies, and then punches you in the face with them. It's kind of painful. Then you have what else are they running? Are they running the Spectre in this one?
Well, some are, and most of them are, I believe. I don't think all of them are.
They're playing the 3 hybrid.
It's usually Cloudfin Raptor, and it's actually a 4-color deck.
Oh man,
it's Cloudfin Raptor and Judge's Familiar in the 1 slot, and Rabbit Hybridization.
Which is not that bad.
It kills the problem is it kills Obsidat and Desecration Demon, which is what they can't deal with.
It kills Big Beefies, it kills Boros Reckoner, it kills Mogus. Not that it matters after it comes into play.
I mean, it kills Boros Reckoner pretty well for a mono blue deck.
Yeah, it kills Boros Reckoner. It answers a lot of little things that like you might have a problem with.
I was able to do some testing against it and then actual playing against it, and I find that the deck wins. It either, if you're not prepared, it wins in one fell swoop. Where you're like, what did I just take? Like 70? Or some, not really, but some ridiculous number in like one shot, and then it like with base and everything.
With the mono, there's the mono red list.
The same thing, exactly the same thing. And then you look at like
they play the Boros Reckoner.
The thing is, the mono red list is kind of like one trick. Yeah. Well, no, this mono red list is not that deck. The top one, the one that top
is
the
Devotion list.
It's not the one that like the mono red aggro fanatic one. It's a completely different list.
It runs the god, runs the hammer.
It goes like turn 2 Ash Zealot into hammer into hasted active Porphyros.
Yeah, big beefy.
Win game usually. Like it's pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
This format's crying for a Swords Plowshare effect.
I mean, do you really think so? I mean,
It's because Chain to Rocks doesn't cut it. Sorry.
Chain to Rocks is garbage.
Chain to Rocks needs to be instant speed and not abrupt decay fodder.
True. Well,
And then you can you might not believe me, but find out how many find any white decks in the top 8. Yeah, it was Esper, and they definitely didn't run Chain to the Rocks.
They didn't run Chain to Rocks, absolutely. I mean, but then again, Esper has so many options. Why does it even matter? It's a 3 deck.
Yeah, I think Esper beat a lot of control decks.
Esper was top seed going into the top 8. Esper was top seed.
Guillaume Wafa top.
And then I think it was a mono blue that kind of whooped his ass, wasn't it?
Probably. I mean, I don't think it was Makahito Mahara who was the only multicolored deck in the top 8 besides Esper, and he was playing this Gruul monster. I think called Green Red Monsters, and it was exactly what you'd expect. It's
but it was kind of like mono green splashing.
It was devotion. No, it was a devotion list. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. There was a point when he went turn 1, Elvish Archdruid. Turn 2, tap the Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic. Turn 2, tap them. Don't play a land. Play double Burning Tree. Nykthos. Use the 2 mana. Produce 5 green. Arbor Colossus.
Play the
I mean, I don't think Arbor Colossus is an amazing card particularly, but I feel like on turn 2, it's like Tarmogoyf. That's your Tarmogoyf now, except you're out of an empty hand and your opponent needs to have multiple Doomblades.
Okay, but let's talk about some of the other crazy things that happen in Standard. Nykthos is now worth something.
Yep. Value went up on Nykthos because you can see what it does.
It's kind of like a standard edition of, and I dare say it, Cradle.
No, it is.
It kind of is a standard edition of Cradle.
The most direct comparison would be Cabal Coffers, but it doesn't actually compare to Cabal Coffers.
Right.
Yes, it seems like it does because the mana cost and everything like that.
But it has to do with.
But in reality, it's literally 100% Cradle
based on what is in your board instead of what's in your mana base.
Yeah, the mono black, it always ends up being based on creatures. It always ends up, but it's almost got more of an upside. Like the mono blacklist loves it because. They run Night Veil Spectre still. Let me bring up the mono blacklist so I can make sure I'm not lying. I know they run Night Veil Spectre.
I mean, they run the corrupt creature, right? They play the
Grey Merchant.
The Grey
Merchant. They play Grey Merchant. Oh, they don't. They don't run that. They run the Whitebane Zombie instead because.
Because that's amazing. Okay.
It's alright. I like Night Veil Spectre. It runs 2 Pack Rats because I don't have enough Pack Rats. That's alright. I don't like this list. I feel like I think Desecration Demon is really good when you're ahead, but you know what? When you have that much removal, I guess it's fine.
I mean, who gives a shit?
It's 10 spot removal spells. Seems good.
The other thing that spite, and I fucking hate this card. You have no idea how much I hate this card.
Which one? Thesa?
Who's blue and I hate her?
Thesa?
Thesa.
Yeah, all the mono blue devotion, but they use her. That's
she was what, $4?
Oh no, she went down to I think 9 or something like that for a while. on Star City,
she was pretty pitiful at one point. I think she was $5 tops, and now she's $20.
A foil one is 45.
Yeah, foil 45.
I mean, but she's also. I mean, I understand a foil being a lot of money.
Okay.
She's a great EDH general. She's great for Legacy Merfolk. She's great for Modern Merfolk. That's fine.
I mean, it comes down to the fact that she is a 3-mana god. She's indestructible. She's a 3-mana every turn at the during upkeep before, so fix your draw. Okay. Yeah. Man, fuck that god. I don't fucking give a shit. Fuck her.
It's kind of fucked up because
forget that BS.
Poor fucking. Care. I mean, Perfos did see play here, which was great, but that was the only list I saw him in the. Well, I saw him in a couple top 16 lists, but Porphyros was everyone was talking about him. Heliod, people were talking about him, playing with him. Now it's Thesa. She's where you want to be with gods. And it's Erebos.
I mean, again, it's in the Mono Blue Devotion. So if you're not playing Mono Blue Devotion, I'm pretty sure you're not going to play her anyway.
No, I don't.
But it's quite easy to activate her anyway.
Well, I think that the Mono Blue Devotion deck, I think it's, I'm not going to say a fad, but I think it was definitely no one can be prepared for this. No one, and you can't be prepared, it defined a meta. It was I'm going to be a Mono Blue aggro deck. Remember when Mono Blue Hate Bears was around? When it was Phantasmal Image and it was Snapcaster Mage and all that shit, and you were oh good. I have to deal with a mono blue aggro deck right now that has counter spells. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, kind of, sort of.
It's like Merfolk, like counter, like aggro control.
It is kind of like Merfolk, but not really.
But,
you're not swinging for like 50 potential when your opponent's already at like.
I'm not trying to exaggerate. It is extraordinarily
Right.
like there are decks that are strong and weak to spot removal. This deck is supremely weak to spot removal. It's a very all-in plan, and you only need like maybe a Thoughtseize and a single source of removal.
It's kind of like a weaker version of any of those elf ball decks. Any of those decks where it when it goes off, it hurts. You might cry a little bit, and you're just kind of like, what do I do? There's board presence everywhere, and
like it can't rebuild very, very quickly. I mean, the whole point of the deck is to be like things,
and then slap down the master.
Slam your dick. Well, I mean, you don't. Sometimes they don't need the master because they just have like Cloudfin Raptor until
it
like.
It is over the top. Master is definitely something that over the top.
He's usually the I win now card. Like take your turn, answer this, and I'm kind of looking on the other end, like why was no one like not Doomblade. Anger the Gods. Granted, Anger the Gods doesn't kill Master of the Waves. It does a phenomenal job of killing the rest of the deck. Or like Supreme Verdict, like cool.
Anger Gods is not that efficient though. I mean, 3 damage. There's so many big.
I'll tell you this right now.
The green white list that's like everything's huge.
The green white is trash.
Any of the control list doesn't matter. I mean, green white.
It's trash now.
Is really good.
It's trash now.
Why? Because Devotion came out. Let's be realistic.
It actually is. It can't be Devotion. It can't. I was watching it just go like, I have this 5/5 trampler, and it's like, I have 17 1/1s, 17 2/1s, and you literally have no way to interact with Master. That's the problem with it. They have no way to interact with it. They have no spot removal. They have nothing. They're like, all right, I just got to put lifelink on my 5/5 trampler and hope that gets there.
I hope it gets there.
And they're like, I have rabbit hybridization. We'll talk about this later.
Turn it into a little
froggy. Like they're long games, but you got Scry. It's a good deck. I feel like all these devotion decks. I don't necessarily think that the Makahita, the Gruul, the mono green splashing red aggro deck was the best, but I feel like that's the idea of where those devotion decks are going. Like they're going to be like, I could see mono blue splashing green. I could see mono blue splashing black. I could see mono blue splashing. I'm not going to say red because that seems stupid, but like I could see.
You could if you really want to.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, it might be, and I might be like putting my foot in my mouth later if I see the mono blue splashing red Perforos deck, where I'm like, shit. I guess you got it, bro.
Guess what they run? Anger Gods from the mirror.
No.
Why not?
Because the
Anger Gods sucks, but
it ends up being a lot worse.
You'd rather Supreme Verdict. You'd rather play the spot removal. That's why Anger Gods not being played. Yeah. They knew this going into the Pro Tour. Yeah. I mean, they are the top players in the world. That's what in the Pro Tour, not in the world, but in the Pro Tour, and that's why they were there, and that's why they earned their place. And they knew things that other people didn't know. They knew Anger Gods was going to be a thing, and they knew if they came in with something like off from left wing that they were going to sneak it. That's why there was teams playing devotion decks.
There was, I mean, I think Channel was playing. Yeah, the entirety of France was playing devotion.
Was playing blue
Team
devotion.
Channel played the mono red list, the more big red almost.
Almost, yeah.
But I guess if any deck is going to take advantage of a shit ton of mana, it's probably red.
To an extent, I mean, you kind of run out of gas. I feel like the blue list kind of has more.
I just want to play.
Sustainability.
You want to laugh?
No.
I looked at the Nambo existence of like Epic Experiment and Nykthos and went permanent based spells. This doesn't work.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't work.
This is not a combination.
Not a combo.
The only other deck I wanted to bring up, and I think this deck like hit the nail on the head, and I'm surprised it didn't do better. The Orzhov midrange deck by Paul Reitzel. I was like, yeah, you get Black's removal spells, and you get just valuable white creatures. Maybe Sin Collector wasn't the main board decision they wanted to be on. I don't know. Like in retrospect, they might not want him to be there. But like 3 Obzidats, 1 Blood Baron. At that point, you can run Desecration Demon because the rest of your deck is removal spells. That seems okay. I think that's where you want to be. I don't know if 26 lands is where you want to be. That seems a little excessive.
But again,
for one Elspeth, like that's.
Didn't expect Devotion top 8 in Pro Tour.
No.
Esper, kind of expected.
So, I mean,
Control. Orzhov, kind of out of nowhere, but it's a good list.
I like that. See where that goes.
That's kind of interesting. We're going to see where the meta goes now. after Devotion being a thing. There's definitely going to be, at your local stores, at your IQs, at your TCG Silvers and Plus. You're going to see Devotion. Devotion is going to be a thing. Now that it was placed in Pro Tour, it's going to be played.
No.
So we're going to see where it goes, and that was a Pro Tour. So we're going to see what happens. Maybe people can come up with more interesting decks. And
I like black green, mono black Devotion, splashing green. I think that answers a lot of the format. We'll see how that works out.
So it might be a thing. So but that's about it for today. And I'm Victor.
Tony.
This is my boy Tony. This is On the Stack, presented to you by Gamers Edge and GETV.
Have a great one.
Stay safe, folks.